1. Just relaxing feels productive less. Have you ever tried to sit on the couch and watch a movie, only to find yourself thinking about the laundry, your emails, or a project that isn't due for 2 weeks? For a child who grew up fast, doing nothing feels like a risk. In your childhood home, being idle might have meant you were in the way, or it might have meant you were ignoring a problem that was about to explode. You might even find yourself judging people who are loud, silly, or immature. It's not that you're mean, it's that you're jealous. You weren't allowed to be those things, so seeing others do it feels wrong or irresponsible. Your brain is stuck in survival mode, and in survival mode, there is no time for hobbies or relaxation. Everything has to have a purpose. If you're not improving yourself or checking something off a list, you feel an itchy sense of anxiety. You've forgotten that play is a human need, not a reward you have to earn after you're perfect. 2. No feels like a crime. For a kid who grew up fast, being helpful wasn't just a nice thing to do, it was your currency. It was the only way to get love, or sometimes the only way to avoid a blow-up. You learned that your value was tied to how much you could do for others. This created a deep-seated belief that if I'm not being useful, I'm not wanted. Now, in your adult life, saying no feels like a physical threat. When a boss asks you to work late, or a friend asks for a huge favor you don't have the energy for, you feel an overwhelming sense of guilt. It's not just a small feeling, it's a crushing weight. You're terrified that the moment you stop being the fixer or the helper, people will realize they don't actually need you around. You have become a chronic people pleaser, overextending yourself until you're exhausted, all because you're still trying to earn your place in every relationship. You don't realize that people should love you for who you are, not for what you do for them. 3. The burnout of the soul. By the time most people who grew up too fast reach their late 20s or 30s, they hit a wall. While their peers are just starting to get serious about life, these individuals feel like they've been working for 50 years. That's because, mentally and emotionally, they have. You've been carrying the mental load of an adult since you were in elementary school. This leads to a specific kind of soul burnout. It's not just being tired from work, it's an exhaustion that sleep can't fix. You might experience random health issues, chronic tension in your shoulders and jaw, or a sudden, intense urge to just drop everything and run away. This is your nervous system finally screaming, "I can't be the adult anymore." It's a sign that you have spent your entire life being the hero, the protector, and the fixer, and you simply have nothing left to give. It's the moment you realize that the little adult inside you is actually a very tired child who just wants to be taken care of for once. 4. You became a human radar. If you grew up too fast, you probably became an expert at reading the room before you even learned long division. This is what psychologists call hypervigilance, but for you, it was just a way of life. Before you even dropped your school bag, you knew exactly what kind of night it was going to be. You could tell your parents' mood just by the way they jingled their keys, the specific heavy sound of their footsteps, or even the way they sighed in the kitchen. Your brain stayed in a constant high alert mode to protect you. You weren't being observant because you were curious. You were doing it because you had to predict a storm before it hit. As an adult, this translates into a brain that never shuts off. You're the person who overanalyzes every fine in a text message. You notice the slightest shift in someone's tone of voice and immediately think, "What did I do wrong?" Or, "How do I fix this?" You find it impossible to just be in a room without scanning for potential conflict. Your brain literally thinks that being relaxed is dangerous because you might miss a warning sign. 5. The fake adult feeling. Even if you have a great career, pay your bills on time, and everyone thinks you have your life together, there's a weird, hollow feeling deep down. You feel like a fake adult. This happens because you skipped the most important part of being a kid, the play phase. Play isn't just about toys. It's the time when children learn who they are, what they like, and how to make mistakes without the world ending. Because you were busy being the responsible one, you never got to explore your own identity. You were so focused on doing what was right or necessary that you never figured out what was fun. Now, as an adult, you might feel like a hollow shell. You are amazing at completing tasks and meeting deadlines, but when someone asks, "What do you do for fun?" or "Who are you outside of work?" you draw a complete blank. You've been playing a role, the reliable one, the strong one, the smart one, for so long that the real you feels like a stranger you haven't met yet. 6. The guilt of sitting still. For most people, sitting on the couch is just watching a movie, but for you, sitting still feels like a trap. If you aren't doing something productive, your brain starts to itch. you feel like you're being lazy, even if you've worked 12 hours straight. This is because, as a kid, you were only praised when you were being useful. You learned that rest was a luxury you couldn't afford, or maybe you felt that if you stopped moving, everything would fall apart. Now, as an adult, you don't know how to have a hobby just for fun. Everything has to be a side hustle or a way to improve yourself. You can't just paint a picture, you have to be good at painting. You can't just go for a walk, you have to track your steps. You are constantly on, and the idea of just being feels wrong. You feel like you have to earn your right to exist every single day by being the most helpful person in the room. You're waiting for someone to give you permission to finally sit down and stop worrying, but the truth is, you're the only one who can give yourself that permission now.